So today, we're going to dive into one team's really ambitious plan to bring some serious, high-powered automated trading to the Cardano ecosystem. This is the Surge story. All right, let's just start with a number. A really, really big number. $1 trillion. That's a 1 with 12 zeros after it. So what on earth does this massive figure represent? Well, that's the estimated size of the automated crypto trading market every single year. We're talking about a massive industry of bots and algorithms running trades 24/7. But here's the thing, for the most part, Cardano, which is, a huge player in the crypto space, has kind of been on the sidelines for this. And today, we're going to look at how one project is trying to change all of that. So yeah, let's dive right into this trillion-dollar opportunity. To really get where Surge is coming from, we've got to look at what the automated trading world looks like right now. Who are the big players? And maybe more importantly, where are the gaps in the market?
Look, trade automation isn't some new idea. You've got giants out there like Pionex and 3 Commas, and they're handling billions in volume. But they mostly focus on centralized exchanges, or CXs. The platforms you probably sign up for. Then you've got these super powerful frameworks like Hummingbot, but honestly, you need some serious coding skills to make those work. And that, right there, that's the gap. There's no user-friendly, no-code needed platform for Cardano's decentralized exchanges, the DEXs that run right on the blockchain. And that is exactly the space Surge is aiming for.
Of course, seeing a trillion-dollar opportunity, that's one thing. Actually building the tech to go after it, that's a whole different ballgame. So let's pull back the curtain a bit and get into the not-so-glamorous day-to-day reality of building something this complex, where these huge visions clash with daily, mundane fixes. Early on, the team's biggest enemy, their main roadblock, was this one super frustrating technical problem: latency. When you're trying to make trades in a market that moves at the speed of light, every single millisecond counts. Any delay in getting data from the blockchain was just slowing the whole app down and causing all sorts of sinking headaches. And look, building a startup is never just about solving one big, shiny problem, right? It's about juggling 100 little ones. So on top of that core latency issue, the team was dealing with everything from trading strategies just stopping cold because a computer logged out to, and I love this one, accidentally deleting the Teams section from their own website. It's just a raw, honest reminder that there are real people behind all this code. So how'd they fix that big latency problem? Well, they went straight to the source. Instead of depending on these third-party services for data, they just decided to run their own Cardano node. This 3-step plan gave them direct access to the blockchain's data and total control over how they submit transactions. Basically, they cut out the middleman and all the delays that came with it. And this wasn't just some quick fix or a patch. No, this was a major infrastructure upgrade. You can just hear the confidence in their statement, right? It shows they really believe this was the right move to build a stable, fast platform that's going to last. Okay, so with their main infrastructure getting sorted, the team ran into a whole new kind of problem. This one wasn't technical, it was strategic. And this brings us to a really critical moment in their story. A choice between taking the fast path or taking the right one.
And this is just a classic startup problem, isn't it? Do you rush your product out the door to grab that early momentum, or do you take your time, build it right, and make sure it's powerful and polished from the very first day?
Let's just break down their options. Path 1, launch their fund right away. The upside? Speed. But the downside was huge. They could only run really basic strategies, and the optics, the way it looked to the community, just weren't great. And in crypto, first impressions are pretty much everything. A weak launch can really hurt a project's reputation. Path 2 was all about patience. Wait until the full application is ready. Yeah, it meant a later launch, but it would be so much stronger, with advanced strategies and a full-featured app that could build real trust. They chose Path 2.
So this decision wasn't really a delay, it was a strategic pivot. And this timeline shows you what came out of it. They're going to keep running some simpler strategies for now, but they're focusing all their development firepower on a full launch in Q2. And that launch is going to include some powerful stuff like PineScript integration, which is a super popular language that lets traders build their own custom strategies, and built-in arbitrage bots designed to automatically sniff out and profit from tiny price differences.
Okay, so the team made a huge strategic call to build it right. But what does that actually look like day to day? Let's get into the weeds a little and look at the real, tangible progress they've made on the app itself, Surge V2, and see how that strategy is turning into actual code. This is where the vision starts to get real. You can feel the momentum building. For you, the user, the order table will now show the exact submission time. That's crucial transparency. Those annoying bugs with the key performance indicators on the dashboard, they're getting squashed. On the back end, the really critical staking logic on the Cardano side is done, and the wallet page is almost finished. And just as important, they're making moves on the business side, having good conversations with DEX partners to make sure there's plenty of liquidity when they launch. This isn't just a roadmap anymore, it's a product that's being actively built.
Now, all this hard work on Surge V2 is building a really powerful engine, but to actually compete in the crazy high-speed world of automated trading, that engine needs a superhighway to run on. So let's zoom out from the day-to-day development and look at the truly game-changing tech that is at the heart of Surge's ultimate vision for Cardano. Let's talk about Midgard L2. For anyone who's not familiar, Layer 2s, or L2s, are a huge deal in crypto right now. They're basically built on top of a main blockchain to make things way faster and cheaper. Midgard is Surge's L2, and you can just think of it as an express lane for Cardano transactions. Now, the really crucial part is that it does this without a centralized sequencer, which means there isn't one single party controlling the order of everything. That's a huge deal, because it removes a potential point of failure that a lot of other L2s have. This is the key to unlocking that next level.
And this chart just puts the speed into crazy perspective. The main Cardano blockchain, the L1, takes about 20 seconds for a transaction to be final. For high-speed trading, that's an absolute eternity. Midgard L2 just crushes that time down to under 1 second. It's not just an improvement, it's a whole different universe of speed. And that speed, it's not just a nice little feature. It is the fundamental requirement. This is what unlocks real, professional-grade automated trading on Cardano. It changes the entire game.
So, what does professional grade actually mean in practice? Well, it means that strategies that were just totally impossible on a 20-second chain are suddenly on the table. We're talking about things like real-time arbitrage, managing super tight spreads if you're a market maker, and all sorts of other high-frequency strategies that literally live or die by millisecond-level execution.
So this whole journey, from seeing a gap in the market to grinding through the tough parts of development, making those hard strategic calls, and finally building toward next-gen tech, it all leads us here, to this final thought. The arrival of near-instant real-time execution on Cardano isn't just an upgrade for one app. It is a fundamental shift for the entire ecosystem. And it really makes you wonder, what else becomes possible now?